Hi, my name's Pete Townend, and we started Canoe Kayak in 1994 with the idea of introducing people safely to kayaking. We have 8 specialty stores around the North Island and a website where you can buy online. We're keen to make sure that people get the right advice, so the experts that we employ in the stores will be able to help you choose the right kayak for what you need to do. We have amazing warranties and we'll look after you all the way through the process. Now, this is the Waitai. And the Waitai is one heck of a boat. If you like screaming down an ocean swell by filming dolphins jumping around the bow, this is the baby for you. It's primary stability, so when you're sitting in the boat, it's really cool. When you lean it up on its side, it's got really good secondary stability, and it handles rough conditions like you wouldn't believe. Surfs, no problems. So if you're looking for an expedition boat, take it out fully loaded and really go adventuring, this is the puppy for you. We'll take you through some of the features on it, eh? Okay, rightio, let's go through the Waitai and have a look at the boat from the stern, the back of the boat, up to the bow. Now the rudder on here, you can see stainless steel wires, stainless steel bolts, aluminium rudder, really solid gear for the real out there expedition work. Rudder comes up and down nice and easily, got a simple control to do that, and we'll show you how that works a little bit later on in the video. A very solid system, you can see the way it's bolted in the back here. Means that any maintenance, which is very unusual, is easy to do. Very solid, simple system for this rudder. It's got a hold down here as well, so when you're transporting it on the car, it'll hold it down, won't flap in the breeze. But more importantly with this boat is you've got quite a deep V in here, so when the rudder blade slots in and you're coming into a beach in big swells, it doesn't jump out and get crossed up into the surf, which as soon as it does that on a boat, it can really slow your boat down and make it very difficult to steer the boat in surf conditions. So it stays very well locked into the boat in rough conditions. Coming forward, you're going to see the handle on here. So the handle on here is really cool, so it's easy to carry. Remembering when you're carrying a fully loaded boat full of gear, always carry it with your hand underneath and carrying the handle like this. When it's empty, the handle's fine. But these are really cool too, so often when you're running in heavy conditions, this can end up banging around at the back of the boat, and what you can do with these is just give them a thump and they clip down and stay out of the way. So really clever design by the guys there. Coming forward, and you're going to see deck lines all the way around, so you can grab hold of the boat if you're in a rescue situation, and you've also got a bungee here which is really useful for storing your spare split paddle. So when you're doing expedition paddling, you're always carrying a split paddle with you, and that means that if something goes wrong with your paddle, probably going to lose it in surf or around a rock garden, you can grab your spare paddle and use that. So that helps hold that down. Coming up to the hatch, and here the simple clips to undo the hatch, a neoprene cover, and loads of storage space. Now you see the bulkhead here, this protects water coming from the cockpit area through to the boat. Through the rest of your gear, but always make sure you're packing your gear in dry bags, because you can guarantee if you put something in there that's precious to you, it will get wet, okay? And then the neoprene goes back on, you hook it on over the front, sides, and pull the neoprene towards you. You get better at this as you do it after a while. Hook it down, then you cover, so any big waves hitting the back of the boat won't knock that neoprene off, and then you clip that in like so. Okay, you've got a tow mount sort of here and a security lock that you can lock the boat onto the roof rack if you want to, or tow off, but you're probably not going to use that for towing very often because it's too low and will tend to get tangled up in the rudder, so you'll tow off your buoyancy aid normally. Now in here, you've got another storage hatch. This is known as a day hatch, and in here, this is where I put my tea and biscuit brigade stuff. So I've got a thermos in here, a cooker in here, pots, pans, all the bits and pieces I need, and a whole lot of food and bits and pieces that I can get to. So when I hit the beach just for a quick cup of tea, I can get everything I need out of this hatch. And that just clips back in there. Anything that you're worried about getting wet needs to be inside a dry bag, remember. Now you've got a paddle park across the back here, and this is for paddle floats. We don't recommend using this for paddle floats. We find it's too restrictive, and so the paddle, when you're using a paddle float rescue, would actually be locked over the back here, but that's what it's designed for. On this side here, you'll see the up and down haul for the rudder, and so you pull the green one forward, and that will put the rudder down, yeah, and then you pull the red one forward, and that'll bring the rudder back up again. This cleat is designed for heavy downwind surf situations and swells, because when you're traveling really fast, the rudder can kick up behind you, and as it kicks up behind you, it'll end up being useless in the surf, in the big swells. And so the lead can be locked into here, which locks the rudder down. Obviously, it's really, really important if you hit the beach that the cable is not locked in here, because you will break the rudder if you hit the beach at full speed. Right, okay, so moving forward, we've got backrest, nice easy adjustment on the backrest in the back here, and it comes through also here. You can adjust it here and pull it forward and back, so that makes it nice and comfortable. Nice foam seat. You've got knee braces up in here, which are really good for holding onto the boat. So when you're paddling a sea kayak, it's very much like the difference between wearing a jandal would be on a sit on top, or wearing a good sand shoe would be in a sea kayak or a kayak. And when you're running cross country in shoes, you'd want to be in sand shoes so that your feet stays firmly tied. The same thing in here in a kayak. You want to be firm in the kayak. They're easy to come out of, just like a shoe's easy to come out of. But if you get your knees locked up in here, you can really control this boat in the rough water and have a lot of fun. We love surfing them and mucking around in them. You'll find up the front there's easy adjustment as well for the foot pegs that you pull, and that allows you to move the foot peg where you want it. And on top you've got the adjustment there for the rudder, so you turn the rudder by using your toes on the top, and you've got simple adjustments there to adjust links on the rudder light cables. Front here, you can see here really nicely set down fittings, so that when you run your hands over them you're not getting caught up on things, so it's a really good idea. Bungee cords on the front. This will hold my paddle float, my bilge pump, drink bottles, other bits and bobs up the front here. Makes it really simple. There's a small indentation here for a compass to go on, so you can have a compass up the front if you wish. The deck lines, in case you fall out, it's just really cool. You can grab hold of that so the boat doesn't get blown away. This is the front hatch, and it's a rubber clip down hatch, so you peel that off, and once again you get huge storage inside the boat with a bulkhead going through here, which once again keeps this separate from the cockpit area. Okay, the hatch goes on, just clips on, and you push it round and give it a good push down, and then she's sealed on. Okay, more bungees to go across here to store things on if you wish to, and then the handle again, remembering again if it's fully loaded, always a hand underneath lifting. A fully loaded kayak will usually take 4 people to lift, 2 hold in the cockpit area, 1 at the front, 1 at the stern. Right, if we turn this boat on its side now and have a look at it, we'll have a look at the hull. And so looking across the hull of the boat, you can see nice flat area here, gives you good primary stability. Nice rails, give you excellent turning if you're hip steering the kayak. And also this boat has quite a lot of rocker, which is the banana shape from bow to stern. So when the boat's sitting on the concrete, on the ground, it can rock a little bit, and that rocker makes it really good for rough conditions. New Zealand conditions are some of the harshest in the world. But what we're looking at with these boats is the amount of UV stabilisation that goes into the plastic. The New Zealand manufacturers put in a lot of cost into each boat to ensure a long life boat. So these boats will last you a lifetime. They're guaranteed by the manufacturer and by Canoe Kayak, and so you're backed up all the way through with the knowledge that they're produced for New Zealand conditions and supported by us and by the manufacturer. They'll give you a lifetime of fun and safe paddling. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you've learned a little bit about the boat you're thinking about purchasing. You'll find, if you want to ask more questions, the contact page has got all our contact details, including our online help desk. And so give the guys a call if you've got more questions, and come aboard and enjoy the kayak you're going to buy. It's a great fun sport.